Hey guys, it's been a minute. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Bisola, pro makeup artist, and I'm in the New York City area. And yes, so housekeeping out the way. The last time I think it's been like 3 weeks ago was the last time I posted something. I really thought I was gonna have Vlogmas down. That didn't happen. My holiday got chaotic. And my sister came in town, so I had to be a good host to her, including working. It just was a lot, and I wasn't prepared. I overestimated what I thought I can get done. So let's get started, okay? I'm really actually excited about what I want to talk about today. This is something that I've thought about for a while, and I had to like write my thoughts down because one, I like to talk a lot, and if I start on a specific topic, if I don't script it out, I will forget because I get carried away and my thoughts just be like, ma'am, please get it together. So I had to like script it out and just like, you know, what I wanted to say and make sure I'm hitting the points that I want to hit. So this is a chance for us to talk about this in the comment section because I always love having discourse like this. Y'all, if I end up having a podcast before the end of the year, don't judge me because I be having a lot to say, and I'll be having a lot to say. But anyway, I want to talk about not being a parent pleaser. I feel like being a parent pleaser is what's keeping a lot of people unhappy, like a lot of people. And I would say from the perspective of someone that is an immigrant, and I also obviously have immigrant parents, I'm not a parent pleaser. And I think I've known this about myself for a long time. I don't think I've ever been a parent pleaser because I've always done things on my terms. I just wanted to let y'all know, whatever I'm saying in this video is the truth and nothing but the truth because my mother watches my channel. She's subscribed. Hey, Ma. She's subscribed to my channel. And I know she watches it because when we talk on the phone, she was like, okay, so how's this? How's that? I'm like, how do you know? Oh, I mentioned it in the video. So I just want to let y'all know. Full transparency here because what? I'm not a parent pleaser and I really don't care. So it can be hard, I'm sure for other people too, but it can be hard when you are a immigrant or a child of an immigrant to really not want to please your parents. So before I even start, I want to give you guys a disclaimer, but before that, everything that I'm using as far as makeup is going to be in the description bar below. If you were interested in what I was using, because I'm not going to be talking about the products I'm using while I'm trying to talk about this. I love talking and I talk way too much. So we're not going to be doing both or else we'll be here for 7 hours. Okay. So my disclaimer is going to be, if your beliefs, like your moral beliefs and your parents' moral beliefs are the same, this video is probably not going to resonate with you. If the way you live your life already automatically pleases your parents and it's not something that you necessarily have to think about, that's that's amazing. I wish it was like that for everybody, but it's not. So this video may not resonate with you. You also don't have to agree with anything I'm saying in this video. And if you don't, that's okay. This video is just not for you. And I completely understand that. So I've been thinking about this for, I'll say, honestly, y'all, about a month. And this is something I know I've wanted to talk about, or it's something I know that I've thought about many, many, many times before. But during the holidays is when stuff like this, I think it hits a lot of people more. And, you know, you're with your families and it can be a trigger for people. Oh, I don't know what I want to use. So I will start off by saying a lot of our parents' thoughts, the way they think, is very traditional and very remedial. Like I said, I'm not speaking for every person, but I feel like if you're an immigrant, you probably understand this more than some people or less than some people. I don't know. But I know for a fact some of my family members, like traditional things, is just how they view the world. And I've never been like that. And I feel like when you're just so traditional and you don't have, like, you're not open to other perspectives, you're going to be stuck. Like, my dad is very stoic. He's very, like, my mom always tells my brother, like, when they're not agreeing on something, she's always like, he has always been like this. Or he's been like this for a long time. And he's older. So the way you're thinking as a younger person, he's not going to get it. And you trying to make him understand may not work the way you think it's going to work. So she's always telling him that. So I would say a lot of Nigerian dads are like my dad. They're just they're just traditional in that way. So a lot of them, they're definitely not open to criticism, but they're not open to some kind of change. They're not open to you telling them how things are now because they think the way things have been is the way it should continue. They will argue, especially when you're in a family gathering, they will argue you down bad. And I just be like, oh my God, please stop. But they would go on and on and on. And it's weird. So let's talk about the first thing I want to say. When it comes to dating, this is a conversation that I have had with my mother. And my mom is like the opposite of my dad in a way. Maybe that's why they work. She's like a sponge. She gets it. Like every time you explain something to her, you teach her something new. She's like, I never knew that, or I never thought about it from that perspective. And she adapts. My mom is very adaptable. And she goes with the flow. She's like, okay, well, she may not have to agree on something, and she may have to have seen something happen for her to be like, oh, I never thought about it like that. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, so let's talk about when it comes to dating. I'm definitely not a parent pleaser when it comes to dating. And I want to say this. This is a conversation that I have had with my mother. 9 times out of 10, because I'm in New York City. This is the melting pot of America, or adjacent. And there's so many people here. There's so many cultures, like amongst my friends. And there's a high possibility that the man that I marry is not going to be Nigerian. Even if he was, he's probably not going to be Yoruba. And if he is, shout out to God, okay? Because then he was really made for me, because a lot of Nigerian men don't even like me because my mouth, a lot of them like women that are like their mom. I'm not a parent pleaser. What makes you think I'm going to be a man pleaser? Please. Oh, and like, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I'm not going to act like your mom. You're not a child. So automatically they look for that in some of their like spouses, and I've seen it. I've tried. They don't be into me, and I'm like, okay, bye. So there's nothing lost there. And when you're deep dark skin, when people are not putting in the conversation of colorism into things, I always think it's a very tunnel vision way of thinking. So I'm attracted to who's attracted to me. A lot of black men are not into me like that. I'm gonna just say what it is, because a lot of people like to talk about this on a hush hush. And every time I go home, my parents are always like, where's your boyfriend now? I'm just like, I don't have one. It's not something that I'm hiding. When I get one and I know, oh, this is someone I know matches how I can see myself with this person for the rest of my life. I haven't met such a person. So I have not taken them home. So my parents always be thinking, I think they think I'm lying, and I'm not. Not lying, but if I took someone home, it's because I'm sure. I'm not, because African parents are something else. I cannot be taking every boy I meet home. It does not work like that. So I say all that to say, if I were to take someone home, my mom might be a little more understanding. But it's a high chance that whoever I take home, because of what I just said, may not be black. I'm fine with that. It won't be my first rodeo talking to someone that's not a black man. And I love it. So, but my parents, my dad, my mom should be understanding because she has told me before, as long as he's God-fearing, he's not harming you, and he's not abusive, and you just know, don't bring nobody home that got a lot of kids. I'm like, girl, I'm with you. She has that understanding. Would she still prefer me to bring a Yoruba man home? Yes. Okay, let's not play games. But, like I said, a lot of them don't be checking for me, and I'm not dwelling on that. You don't like me? Okay, I don't like you. Like, but let's say they might not take home. It's like Asian, Southeast Asian, East Asian, or Hispanic. They're gonna give me the side eye, and I don't care because I was sure before I brought him here he would be coming to this home because I already know his character. I already know how he respects me. Unless my parents are like, nope, he's a serial life taker, he's abusive, unless they know all of those things and I don't know, I don't care that they don't accept. If my parents are not accepting someone because they're not Nigerian or black, that's on them. My parents have been together since 1994, because they got married, maybe 1993, because they got married in 1996. One of those. They've been together since then, okay? My parents are like in love, in bliss, in their marriage, and have enjoyed each other since they've met, okay? They are thriving in their relationship. I don't know if someone told them to not date each other or whatever the case might be, but if someone did, they didn't listen, and look at them now, thriving. Thriving and living their best life, okay? And that's what I plan to do. I'm not gonna be like suckered and forced into talking to someone. You know how many times my mom have tried to set me up with some guy? Girl. And you know what? My mom is, I would say, a good judge of character, right? I would have been open to it. I don't mind. And the dudes, it just never worked. Like, it never came into fruition. So I'm like, see, I was ready to give it a chance. It just never happened. So when it comes to that, that's one thing I don't care what my parents think, because they're in their marriage. They're enjoying their marriage. They've been enjoying their marriage since their marriage was a thing. They've been enjoying each other's presence, company. And my parents are older, okay? And my dad's birthday actually just passed. His birthday is on New Year's Day. So, like, they're getting older. They're in this space where it's like, as long as they're in each other's presence, they're happy, you know? I'm not trying to, like, not be happy. I just don't want... Sorry, I'm trying to figure stuff out here. I just don't want them to think, oh, no, we need a little more plum in there. Yeah, I just don't want them to think like I'm being rebellious, even though I would say I am. According to them, I'm like the black sheep of the family. I'm the rebel. But because I don't care. My happiness is my happiness. I feel like a lot of people, they struggle and they're not happy because their parents don't approve of whatever it is that they're doing. And I just want to say, if you're going through this, consider putting your happiness first and see how your life changes. And I'm not just talking about from your parents, from your friends, from whoever you're with. If they're just like, if they're stressing you out and you're trying so hard to please them, try pleasing yourself. Make yourself happy. Your life will change. So, yeah, when it comes to dating, I don't really particularly care if my parents approve or not. Like I said, unless they know something I don't know, if they only don't like this person or they give me the side eye because the person is not black, that's on them. I don't know what to tell you because that's probably what's going to happen. Okay, glad we're on the same page. So, now that we got that out the way, I especially don't care about what people outside of my parents think. Like when I'm saying I'm not a parent pleaser, I do care what my parents think, but I just want to reiterate this. Like, if my parents have been in their marriage and they're happy, they've been together for a long time, and it's now time for me to enjoy my marriage. It's now time for me to enjoy my partner. It's now time for me to just do what I want to do because that's what I've been doing, And I'm still single because I know I make myself happy. If I were to get with someone right now, they would have to be adding to my happiness. Generally, the only thing that's missing is me not being a billionaire. That's what I'm waiting for, okay? Millionaire, billionaire. So many things I want to do in the world. So many amazing things. I need to be a billionaire. That's the only thing missing. I'm really, 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 really genuinely, my core, I am happy. Like, I'm happy. So to be in a relationship just because my parents want me to be, or just because society is like, oh, you're at the age, and it's like, the kids will come when they come. I will say though, if my husband is out there, please hurry up because I want a bunch of kids. Yeah, I'll see how I feel about that after I push the first one out. But yeah, I want to get started. But all joking aside, when it comes to relationships, my parents, just always think about it. Think about this for yourself. Even if your parents are not together, choose your happiness. Like I said, I'm happy if I were to meet someone today. They just need to add to my happiness. I don't want to be the source of a man's happiness, and I don't want him to be the source of mine because I'm already sure of myself. I know myself, and I just want someone to be able to match that. Like, my solitude is very important to me, and you match that. If I'm also extremely happier in your presence, great, because I'm already happy within myself. And it's because I'm not a people pleaser. And as a Libra, people don't believe that, but because most people like me. And if I don't like you, I'm out of there. But generally, I'm not a parent pleaser when it comes to relationships. Next is a job and education. So I didn't go to college. I never wanted to go to college. I never wanted to go to college because I've always wanted to be an actress. Born and raised in Nigeria, the schools I went to, my mom knows this. She knew this then, and she was always supportive of it. That's why when we moved here, the support changing, it was very weird. It was very odd, and I want to say I get it. I want to say that because, things are, the dynamic from being in Nigeria and then being here is different. In Nigeria, I was in boarding school. I would say, if you're not Nigerian, I would say boarding school is the equivalent of going to private school here. Private boarding school. So it's the equivalence of that. So I went to quite some schools, man. And it was fine. School was fine for me. But anything that had to do with theater, acting, dancing, anything from the arts, my mom knew that's what I wanted to be. I never hid that. It was just what I wanted to do with my life. So upon moving here, I knew that's still what I wanted to do. I only wanted to be an actress. Like, I love creative things now and creative jobs, but I've only ever wanted to be an actress. So, not having a conventional job, if I were a parent pleaser, if I just thought about what my parents thought, I would be in a job and I would have gotten a degree that I probably hate. Like, I have a lot of interests, but I've never been interested in doing those things as jobs. You guys know what I'm trying to say? I hope I'm making sense. Is my eyeshadow the same? I don't know if it's blended properly. Yeah, so when it comes to education, what my parents have to say about that now is null and void. I probably would have been in a lot of things if my parents gave me that support that I needed. So I think emotionally, I was shut off from like them not being in support of me being an actress. So right after high school, I moved. Because I just knew being there, I wasn't going to be happy. I was going to be forced into like doing something I didn't want to do. So I know when it comes to education and jobs, I don't have the most traditional job. I don't work a 9 to 5. I mean, I work a 9 to 5, just not like a corporate 9 to 5. Because I'm an actress. Listen, I'm not on your TVs now, and I'm not in shows and movies yet because it's just not the time. I think God, when it's time, God will be like, oh, it's time. But I'm still going to be an actress, and you're still going to see me on your TV, in a TV show, in a movie, somewhere, somehow, some way. Because I know that's what I'm going to do. There's no if, buts, or, it's just not, I'm not out there yet. But, I do little jobs, commercials here and there, some background work here and there, ads here and there, and the money be good. Okay? I'm just not out there yet. But when it's my time, you'll see me. But anyways, yeah, so I don't have traditional jobs. So for a while, I've liked being in retail. And 1, I talk a lot. 2, I love educating people. And 3, like, I'm a makeup artist. I also, like I said, work in retail because it gives me the flexibility of auditioning. Y'all, pre-pandemic, I'm trying to, I don't know, something is off here. But yeah, pre-pandemic auditions were in person. Like, a lot of companies or a lot of agencies, they were embracing like using like Skype before Zoom blew up. We're using Skype for like, if you couldn't make it in person, it was like, that was a way for you to audition. And that's what a lot of companies were doing, but it was still in-person auditioning. And sometimes I feel like in-person auditioning is great if like auditions are always going to be, what do you call that? They're always going to be nerve-wracking. But I will say, in person, people, these casting directors, they get to see your personality, and that can land you a job. So your personality goes a long way, especially if you have like really good headshots. I'll say nowadays, when you're auditioning, they also want your social media to see like your personality, or just make sure, I guess, you're not crazy or something. But that does happen. Sometimes they want you to have a large following, which, side note, I'm starting to hate when I'm on actor databases and they're wanting real people for things. This is why we're actors. Like, they'll say they want a real truck driver, or they'll want a real scuba diver. They want hire someone and then hire the actor. Like, in certain cases, like real, like dangerous jobs, like a diver, you have to be like professional to do that. That's understandable. But just like little things, we're actors. We're here to act. It's been so hard lately because every time I see something that's like real this, like whatever the real occupation is, that's what they're wanting. And it's like, I'm an actress. Post that on an ad or something, not in actors' databases. Like, we're actors. We're trying to find stuff that we can portray. Anyway, that's just the ick I've been having about these casting situations. But I like doing retail and what I do because it gives me the flexibility. Because prior to COVID, you had to like be in person. And that's why you notice a lot of actors are also like waiters and waitresses, because there's flexibility in that. I don't think I'm that patient to have been a waiter or a waitress, so I've never done it because I know myself. I get irritated super fast. So that was one thing. But most of the time, actors, any jobs that are flexible, that's what we like doing. Imagine me having an audition 3 times or 4 times a week, depending on if you have an agent. If you have an agent and the agent is good, you would be getting auditions back to back to back, especially if there are not a lot of people on their roster that look like you. That's great. But having that kind of job, my parents, obviously, they're like, do this. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? They don't get it, and I'm fine with that. Now, another way that I would say not being a parent pleaser is, I would say it goes back, oh shit. I would say it goes back to dating, because now if I meet a guy and everything is just amazing, he doesn't really care. It can be like his occupation can be whatever. As long as we're matching each other's energies and he's not broke, because I'm not broke, we're good. And even if I didn't have like that much money, I would never come to the universe and say I'm broke. God forbid. I'm rich in Jesus' name. Okay? But no, let's say conventionally let's say he has a conventional job, he's making money, like successful, whatever. Now, I want to give this as like a good example. Let's say everything is great. Like we're in a loving relationship and everything is amazing. Hopefully this is not too loud because now my microphone is really close to me because I'm doing this. But let's say he has like a conventionally amazing job and he makes a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And let me go to the extreme. Let's say he's a doctor. Let's say he's a plastic surgeon. Ooh, let's say he's a plastic surgeon. And we're in love. Like we make each other so happy. Everything, we're so compatible in every single way. And we are together. This is an extreme. In another way, because I will always choose my happiness. In another way that I don't care about parent pleasing, because I'm not just talking about my parents. I don't think there has been a relationship that I've been in, like a serious relationship, where the mom has not liked me, but it happens, okay? If I were to ever meet his parents and they're like, she does what? She wants to be a what? If that man can't fully explain, like, well, it doesn't matter what y'all think. This is the girl I'm going to choose because I don't want you for your money, sir. I like you for you because I'm going to make my own money anyway, you know? If he cannot, one, I would know. If you're not a man that can defend your woman in a situation like that, you're not my man anyway. But I'm also not a parent pleaser when it comes to other people's parents. Because if I don't really, how do I say this? I don't want to say I don't care. But if I'm not really like going out of my way to please my parents, who the fuck are you? This is a grown-up channel, okay? I be cussing. But no, seriously. If I'm not doing anything to harm your son, let me continue. Because I could keep talking and my my makeup would just be like, okay, could you hurry up? It's my first time using this. This is a leave-in lash conditioner. So hopefully it's cute. But anyway, okay. Maybe I need to relax. What was I saying? I forgot what I was trying to say, child. But yeah, if I don't care, like in that way of what my parents think when it comes to stuff like that, why would I care about what somebody else's parents think? Like, sir, if you cannot defend me in this situation, and it doesn't even have to be defending me right then and there, unless it's like I'm being verbally attacked or verbally abused, you know, like in the presence of his parents. And they can feel how they feel, because honestly, in general, we all want our parents' approval. We want them to like what we like, you know? We want them to be in full support of what we're doing, unless we're doing some weird, crazy, delusional stuff. We want that from them. However, however, if everything you're doing is bringing you joy, genuine joy in your life, and the only thing that brings you down is the disapproval of your parents, cut them people off. Cut those people. I'm telling y'all, cut them off. Maybe they'll learn, but you got to do stuff for yourself. You got to put yourself first, please. So when it comes to jobs in dating or jobs, because some parents are very traditional, and I think stuff like that matters for me because, like I said, if I don't, I feel like other ethnicities, their parents, they probably are also traditional. Like, no one wants their son to marry someone that has nothing going for themselves. Like, just like my parents would not want me marrying any man that does not have anything going for themselves. And I could understand like the extreme I just gave of like the partner I meet, if he's a doctor, whatever, something super like traditional and makes a lot of money. Naturally, the sisters, the dad, the mom, they're gonna think, if you're not also in that field, and they don't understand what you do, they're probably gonna think that you want their son for money. I don't want to say it's understandable, but if your partner knows that you don't want him for his money and you guys genuinely, like, you're in love, you love each other, that man needs to be able to look out for you. And especially if he does, that man is the one, okay? But if that's what drives you and your partner apart, that's not the person for you. Like I said, we want our parents to approve. Ooh, one thing just went in my eye, child. Like, we want our parents to like what we're doing, like who we're with, because I come from a huge family. Like, I don't want every time I go to a family gathering and they're like, oh, this is who she's with. I don't want my man to be uncomfortable, because my man, in that situation, I'm putting my man first. Because you guys, a lot of it is from jealousy. Listen, when you know your people, you know your people. Or a lot of it is lack of understanding upon your feelings. I would say a lot of Nigerian men, especially like my dad or my uncles, a lot of them, they just don't get it. They don't get it if you're not choosing the traditional way. And I don't care. And the day, I gotta update y'all. The day that happened and I take somebody home and they give it a side eye, let me tell you how me and my man is gonna walk out of that place. Because, excuse me, please, you have chosen your own happiness. Let me choose my own, okay? But yeah. So another thing I wanted to mention while my under eye is drying and prepping for, or not even drying, while I put this eye cream on, is also looks. Even if, I find a miracle of a Yoruba man, let's say he has tattoos, that's also a problem. Just ink on your body. It's a problem for a lot of Nigerian parents. I'll say it's problem for a lot of people's parents. That's also another thing. Imagine this man being the love of my life, like treating me like the princess that I am, treating me like absolute gold, worshiping the ground I walk on, and you don't like him because he has tattoo. Imagine that, because there are parents like this. I'm telling y'all, if you are a people or parent pleaser, mostly, like, people pleaser can come in, like, at work, and you're like, I'm not really a people pleaser, but I just want, I don't know how to say this, maybe to be liked in a specific sector of work because you just trying to do your job and get out of there, But I think here are some like ways, if you've been that and you kind of want to break that cycle. Like, it is normal, y'all. It is normal for your parents to have your back, especially if you have parents that you love. They're not abusive towards you. They're not toxic. Because if that's the case, then you should not give about what your parents think at all if they're abusive to you, okay? If these are people, or if they're narcissistic or they're just very toxic in your life, then You don't need their permission, and you just go live your own life. Really, I know it's hard, and I know some people are very, very family oriented. Family oriented. Is that how I want to phrase that? But like I said, I have a big family. Whoever I bring home, I would love for them to love him. But if they don't, that's their own loss. Okay, that's their own loss. So I would say to let me get my life together. Okay, primer's on. Let me get my life together. But the first thing I would do, if you're trying to do this in a new year, that's my challenge for you. In a new year, if you fall in this category of like caring about what your parental units say, maybe think about like, but yeah, have clear communication with your parents. Like I said, if this is something you want to improve upon, you have parents that you really care about, it's just like maybe they're not getting it and you're like, hello, stop playing games. Communicate with them. Like, say something where they can see it from your perspective, because like if you have a parent or someone like my mom is a sponge. I said this already. My mom is a sponge. She's always willing to learn. Like, you tell her something, a match, okay? But yeah, like my mom, she is very like open and understanding, and she always wants to learn. She's like, well, I don't know that, and I never saw it that way. Tell me, like, teach it to me in a way that I understand, So she'll like, oh, okay, I get it. So if communication works and you have a parent that will listen to you, try that. And, it's something you can start off slowly, because sometimes some people feel like if you're trying to tell them something that they're not used to, or if they're not used to communicating with you that way, they can take it as a personal attack, and then they'll get defensive. Which, if you want to have, like I said, a good relationship with these people, whoever it may be, your guardian, your grandmother, whoever raised you, that you just feel like you are a pleaser of, and this goes for work too. Like, if you are, just goes for work. I can just imagine like being a teacher and they're trying to force you to do something that's out of your beliefs. You got to stand up for yourself, or find somewhere where it will make you happy, just in every aspect of your life, Yeah, and then just find a way to tell them things, explain things to them. You can move on to the next step when you see that this is going to go in a positive way. Secondly, after maybe you had some success with what I just mentioned, is setting boundaries. Like, after you've said what you need to say and they're trying to understand you, it's time for you to set boundaries. What you will accept from them, what you won't accept from them, because things like this, it doesn't change overnight. This foundation is so good. You can see the difference between my scalp and my face. Anyway, let them know what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. Because just because you've explained something to people, sometimes you got to keep explaining it. And if they don't respect your boundaries, you cut them off until they respect your boundaries. Because if people don't respect your boundaries, they will keep crossing you. Best believe that. They will keep trying you, and they will keep crossing you. So next I would say is practicing self-care. If you practice like putting yourself, I would say that goes to putting yourself first in a way. You have to prioritize your own needs, your wants, what makes you genuinely happy. Maybe staying at home and putting your phone on D&D, that's a form of self-care. It could be skincare. It can be hanging out with your friends. It can be being with your partner. It can be it can be playing video games. It can be investing. It can be whatever literally brings you joy and makes like you just like, yeah, I could do this for the next couple of hours. That can be self-care for you. So like practice that. Because once you're in that and you see what that happiness looks like for you, you're going to be more confident and you're going to feel less, just like less prone to feel like you have to please other people, aka your parents, or aka whoever this applies to. So, y'all know every time I talk, I always got to give a quick makeup tip. I generally 99% of the time, I don't let my concealer dry before I blend it out because I want my face to look skin-like. I'm not waiting for concealer to dry. So while it's wet, I blend it and it can be brighter, but it still looks skin-like. But yes, so I know a lot of people like to wait for their concealer to dry. I'm not one of those people unless I'm going for like a super glam look, okay? I mean, let me not say super glam look. Unless I'm going for that look, because makeup that I do is considered glam. I don't like subtlety in my makeup, okay? But I like it to look skin-like, because most of the time when I go places, people are always complimenting. Like, clearly you can see how I have makeup on, but they always be like, your skin looks so good. Thank you. If you've ever said that to me in the streets, thank you. So this next one, I would say it's a little harder if you feel like you don't know where to start. If you have a therapist, amazing, because it doesn't matter how, you don't have to be struggling in life. Therapy is for everybody. Okay? But if you can, because it's also not free and it's not cheap. If you feel like you don't have time for a therapist or you're not ready for that stage yet, find someone in your friend circle or in your family circle that you really trust, that you know they will never dismiss how you're feeling. They will be there to support you. They may not give you every advice that you need, which is a good thing because they'll give it to you real instead of just trying to please you. And you'll know when you need someone to, wow, I look crazy. But in person, I don't. It must be the brightness of this camera. That's crazy that I look like that on camera. But if you're not new here, you know I'm going to fix this. Okay? It's not even fixing. It's just blending. I don't want to say fixing like I did something wrong. But yeah, find someone that you know, that you trust. I'm going to contour in a little bit, but I'm just going back in with my foundation brush. Find someone that you trust, that you know you can talk to about your feelings, because your feelings are valid. If you're making a big decision and you want to talk to your parents about it, but you're like, I don't know how they're gonna take this, talk to someone that is reliable, someone in your family. Like I said, if you feel like family will understand more, or if you feel like your friends will understand more, whoever will understand you more and help you through this situation, and then you can like go to your parents. That's what you should do. It's okay to disappoint your parents. It is okay to disappoint your parents. We are all here trying to figure out life, child. It is okay to disappoint your parents. The sooner you realize that, the better it will be for you. Because just think in life, there are things that have disappointed you and you're still here. There's nothing, you're alive, you're well. It may have been something you've been disappointed about from work, or even if you've been disappointed in your parents, why can't they be disappointed in you? It's okay. I promise it's okay. Like, it is natural for our parents to want the best for us because we're their kids. They want the best for us. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of it it does not come maliciously. Unless it does, then you really need like therapy and cut them off. Cut them off. But you know, a lot of our parents, they want the best for us. They want the best intentions. They want the best things for us because, especially, I don't want to keep saying especially if you're immigrant parents, if you have immigrant parents, but I feel like a lot of us that have immigrant parents, we see it may be like, you just know, okay? I want to have a pout, like a bigger pout. That's why I contoured underneath here. You can see. It emphasizes my bottom lip. Anyway, disappointing them, finding out who you are, your own identity, doing things for you. Because if you never disappoint your parents and you're just perfect, how do you learn from life? Like, how do you learn anything? Because now you've not lived for yourself, you've lived for your parents. Oh, what a contour. But yeah, you have lived for your parents and not really yourself. And you know who that's not fair to? You. You like, we don't do that. Please yourself. You make yourself happy. Because when you're in that place in life where you know you are genuinely happy and no one really can steal your joy. This is also something my mom told me. You know, when I'm talking on the phone with her, or even when I briefly moved back in with my parents, when something is up, or if my mom is upset, or if I just see that, you know, there's something is going on, I'm just like, Mom, are you okay? She's like, yeah, you know, this too will pass. I can't let anyone steal my joy. That's the advice I want to leave you with today. Don't let anybody steal your joy, especially your parents. Okay? Like, a lot of us can envy the people that have parents that are understanding. Are you always going to get along with your parents? No. But there's some people that just generally have good relationships with their parents. I also have good relationship with my parents, but you know, it's because I choose my own happiness in every aspect of life. There have been jobs, y'all, I know a lot of people may not understand this. There have been jobs that I have left because I was unhappy and it paid guac. But if I'm going to the bathroom to cry, I don't want to be here. I don't care how much you pay me. I'm crying every shift. I've left jobs because I don't know, something about happiness. You know, a lot of people are always like trying to chase it, but you find it within yourself, in the little things in life and the little joys in life. Happiness does not come from other people. It comes from yourself. Some people in life have it easier than others. Some people in life have it much harder. You know, I cannot preach this to someone that's broken because they won't receive it the way I intend, you know, or if they're not ready to receive that type of message. Because there's some people, through their healing, they are, you know, they're excited to just move on. So let me get this corner because it's always, but yeah, I think I have finished in what I want to say about that specific thing. Ami Collet is now at Sephora, in stores and online. So I'm trying this powder for the first time. Hopefully, I love the way it looks. But yeah, the next thing, I've already started scripting this out and I'm really excited to talk about it. Y'all, I'm really excited to talk about it. I love talking about relationship stuff. Is compatibility with your partner, but like sexual compatibility. Because a lot of people don't talk about that. But I don't mind it. But yeah, that's what I think I want to talk about next. Not right now, but like in another video. Also, let's just chit chat. I'm done with the. If I want to round up with what I want to say about not being a parent pleaser, find yourself. If you find that, like I said, if this does not resonate with you because generally you agree with your parents or you guys share the same morals, this video does not apply to you. And that's great that you have that kind of relationship with your parents where, you know, they have your back and they look out for you and you guys generally are on the same page, or your parents are very much more understanding of like things that are not traditional, and they are accepting and they just go with the flow. You know, you tell them one thing and they're like, oh, I support you in that. If there's a way for me to support you, let me know. If you have parents like that, that's because that's the type of parent I want to be. I know I'm going to marry a man that wants kids. Two, like we have to share the same beliefs in knowing how we want to raise our kids. We're not abusing our kids verbally, mentally. We're not trying to give our kids trauma. You know, like just being supportive. Like my kids, I want to be whatever they want to do. I want to be as supportive as possible. As long as it's not harming people, I want to be as supportive as possible. I forgot what I said my last things was going to be. But yeah, just, I guess, if you try all these things and it's still not working out, fuck them people and cut them off. Especially if you have amazing friends, if you're in an amazing relationship, foster friendships with other people that just care about you, and put yourself first. Whatever you like to do, whenever you have downtime, do that for yourself. Just put yourself first. That's basically the moral of the story. Why is my brain acting up? But it's the moral of the story. Put yourself first. Try new things. Because whatever you want to be successful at, if your happiness is coming first, life would be bliss for you. It won't always be what we expect it to be, but it'll be nicer than worry about what your parents will think before you make any decision. Like if I thought about what my parents thought all the time before I made any decision, I would be so miserable. So now, y'all, why I'm more active on TikTok, because before I used to be like, So I have a movie review channel on movie TV shows, and I watch a lot of K-drama, Japanese drama. I haven't really gotten to like a lot of Chinese drama, but I've seen a couple. I need to stop playing it. There's just too many things to watch. And they're good. So I have that channel. However, I started reviewing Alchemy of Souls. I started doing a reaction. Well, I did one reaction video and YouTube gave me a strike on that channel. Well, it wasn't YouTube. It was the company. It wasn't even Netflix. It was the original company. I don't think it's Snapdragon, but the original company that is in charge of Alchemy of Souls in Korea, they removed the video, and then I got a copyright strike on it. Not even like a copyright claim, a strike. If you get 3, YouTube will delete your channel forever, and they'll delete this channel. Any channel I have, they'll delete all of it forever. You won't be able to get back on YouTube. So I appealed it. Like, so many reaction videos. Please, pick on somebody else. Anyway, I'm gonna leave a link for that channel. If you guys also watch like K-drama or just that's mostly what I'm gonna be probably reviewing on that channel. I'll probably end up doing more if YouTube ever becomes my full-time job. But right now, I really like my job. For the most part, a lot of my jobs I've liked, not all of them. I've had great days and bad days, but for the past 5 years, 6 years, I really liked my job. Like I said, there's been some days where I'd be like, nope, I'm leaving. And it's never the people I work with. It's always customers. A lot of y'all that are customers, y'all be trying it. Because for the most part, you have disagreements with people you work with here and there. But those have been the good people. They be customers, child. Because I be wanting to throw stuff at people. But anyway, Now I'm just gonna wrap up my makeup. Oh, I hope this new year. Ooh, now y'all, I feel like I have story time on story time on story time. Why, y'all? I had to block this man. Oh, he was so fine. I had to block this man. We were talking for like a week and a half, and I had to block him like a couple of days ago. We met on Hinge, and he tried to crypto scam me. And I don't even know if it was a scam, but it was too much of a red flag for me to be like, well, since I'm still doing my makeup, I still have highlighter and blush and lips. Let's talk about it. This video is all over the place. So we met on Hinge. Like I said, I thought he was so fine. Okay. We were talking, and it was like past surface level immediately. So I was like, check him out. Okay. So the conversation, everything is flowing. You hear me? Flowing. Like, I was like, where did you come from? Who dropped you here? Sir. It was just flowing. The conversation was good. Every single time. It wasn't like surface level stuff. We were talking about just everything. And I was like, wow, we're on a roll here. Our conversation on Hinge didn't even last because he was like, okay, so I already have a really good feeling about you. Can we talk on WhatsApp? I'm like, yeah, sure. Ooh, blinding. So, like, when I say the conversation didn't last, it didn't even last like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Shit was so fast. But like I said, there was no like weird stuff going on. Because he immediately asked me, like, what kind of relationship are you looking for? I was like, nothing casual. He was like, oh, good, me either, because, I feel like I haven't had success on this app. He was like, because someone is, like, whatever. He just was like, I didn't have success, and I'm not looking for a casual relationship. He was like, because one of my friends really found someone that now they're in love on here. He was like, so I decided to give it a shot. I was like, okay. So I was feeling good about this whole thing. So, so we're just like chatting it up. I can't even tell y'all what we were talking about. I just know it wasn't like, what's your favorite color? Cause what? So I think at the time I was listening to something, and like it took me a while to respond. He was like, oh, if you're busy, we can chat later. I was like, oh no, I'm just using this. I was listening to my Korean lesson. He was like, oh, I think he asked me, or did I volunteer? I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And he was like, oh, that's interesting. No, he didn't say that's interesting. He was like, oh, that's really cool that you're interested in learning other languages. I was like, honestly, it's because I'm doing something that's very important and dear to me. Like, I'm writing a script. And I was like, eventually, I'm going to be the star of the show. I'm trying to pull a Issa Rae. I'm trying to pull a Michaela Cole. And I was like, I'm going to eventually need to like learn this. Even if I'm not fluent by the end of the year, I'm still gonna have like really good conversational Korean. He was like, is that the only like language that you're learning? And I was like, for now, yes. I was like, but I'm liking this, me being able to speak other languages, because I speak Yoruba. Okay, I speak Yoruba, I speak English. I was like, now I'm trying to learn that, because really it's going to be imperative to my pilot when, when writing this script. So I was like, do you only speak English? I mean, I knew he didn't because I seen it in his bio. He's Chinese. So he was like, so I asked him that because you know, you got to be smooth with it. You got to be smooth with it. I was like, do you speak Mandarin or do you speak Cantonese? He was like, he speaks Mandarin, but he could also, you know, he could also dabble in, what do you call this? In Cantonese. He was like, but mostly he speaks Mandarin. Like, so we're just talking and he's like, oh, have you ever, like, it was just, y'all, it was just so good. The conversation was so good. And I think I mentioned this already, but did I tell y'all this man was so fine? Anyway, so now we're talking about like when we're gonna meet up and stuff like that. So I think during this time, it was like the next day. So after our first initial talk, it was like, it happened early on. And from the day that we matched, we talked all day. And then the next day he hit me up like in the morning. We talked all day. Like, unless it was like sleep time, we talked all day. So like 3 or 4 days consecutively, we've talked all day. And there was a time where like, you know, I'm editing. Every time we're talking, I'm doing something. Because I'm not just going to be on the phone with you because I have a life. But we're like, you know, when you're texting someone, we're talking all day. So he was packing because he's going on vacation. He ain't never going to see this video. So he was going to Hawaii for vacation, like New Year vacation, like starting off the new year on vacation. So he's packing and he was like, do you want to exchange pictures? And I was like, yeah, sure. In order for me to know it wasn't like a picture that wasn't already in his phone, I was like, I think I gave him something. I was like, give me a peace sign or do something that was like random. He did it, so I knew this was the man. So I got excited because I was like, okay, you're fine. And now you're extra fine because he did that. I'm saying because he did that because I know it wasn't like catfish or anything like that. So at this time when this happened, I'm editing. So I sent him a picture of like literally in the moment. Let me put blush here. And we're just chatting, y'all. So now we know this is what each other look like. And then we sent another picture like the day after that. So it's like in the moment pictures. So the day after when he was going to Hawaii, we really didn't talk all day because it's a long ass flight. He was like, when I get there, I'll send you videos of, you know, like just the atmosphere. And when he got there, that's what he did. But it was already so late. I was tired. And I was like, I'm really sleepy. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Or is that what it was? Yes, because when he got there, it was late. So this time I'm telling y'all, everything is going, everything is going smooth. I could not believe, like my eyes, my ears, everything was just like great. He would send me pictures when he's eating, like food. Because I was like, at this point, I need to be living vicariously through you in Hawaii. Okay? Because I want to be somewhere tropical when it's like near death outside. And this was the week where it was so cold. I'm like, listen, I could be living vicariously through. Yeah. What's next? Do I want to do lashes? I think I did. So let me go back in with that contour thing. So now every time he's eating, when he goes on a little excursion, he's taking videos and pictures for me. And y'all, it's just so cute. It's really cute. So the day things turned left, I want to give you an analogy. I don't know, is that what I want to call it? Yes. So the conversation, like before, he had asked me if I was into crypto. And I was like, no, I just use Robinhood for investing because I don't really understand crypto like that yet. So I'm not like, I would have to like look into it and like sit down and know. I was like, so for now, I'm just Robinhood. I trade or do whatever when I have the time. And I'm not like, the investing is just there because it's easy for me. And when I get alerts, I know. And he kind of like said something, and I told you guys, and at this point, I'm like editing, I'm doing other things. So I'm not really like, whatever. I think he was like, oh, I guess he said something along the lines of, I'm putting glue on my lash. He said something along the lines of, like, I don't know if it was like bashing Robinhood, but because he was just like into crypto, I didn't even think nothing of it because whatever. So the conversation never came up again because we just basically, he was like, he likes doing this during the time because he told me what he did and that he also invests in crypto, like on the side, like, and that's taking a lot of time. So he's just, I think he said something like him doing it, not all day, but it's just mostly what he does because he's a business guy, blah, blah, blah. He told me exactly what he does. And like I said, I told y'all the conversation was flowing. He like broke it down for me, like what he does is for his occupation and like how it works. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. So when he traded, he sent me a screenshot of that. I was like, not you liking me this well, for you to be sending me your investments. So at this point, what did he say? He was like, okay, so he told me he couldn't wait to like plan our first date, like when he got back. So I was like, okay, cool. So now I'm giddy and excited on the inside because I didn't even bring it up. I think the second day I was like, okay, so we're gonna have to meet. And the third or fourth day is when he was already, no, it was the next day. So let's say today's Wednesday. Let's say we met on Monday and we talked all day Monday and all day Tuesday. And then somewhere on Tuesday, I was like, okay, so in order for this to be like a conversation going back and forth, we're going to have to meet. And he was going to Hawaii because that day I was talking to him, he was packing. So I was like, all right. So now I'm excited and we're talking. Y'all, one day we're talking about, it's like a couple of days later. After he just be sending me all the cute Hawaii pictures and things he was doing at the time when he sent the pictures. We're talking about traveling. I was like, I haven't been there yet. I was like, this past year, 3 of my people that I know have gone to Hawaii and now you're there. I was like, oh, I'm jealous. I can't wait to go. He was like, you know what? Depending on how this goes, if we like each other enough, you could go to Hawaii this year. Okay, sir. So at this point, y'all, like I said, oh, not me about to ruin this lash. I'm like smiling. We just talking. We're talking about traveling. And I was like, oh, my first trip is going to be here that I already have coming up in February. He's like, oh, I've been there. I can be your guide. I was like, oh, me too. I live there. He was like, He was like I said, if we're like, if we're at the point where we like each other. I was like, you want to come? Is that what you're insinuating? He was like, I mean, if you're comfortable with it. So, we're making conversation like we have been. Everything is just whatever. It's flowing. So now he brings up, he was like, I'll be right back. He went to go, I guess, trade some more on crypto. And then he sends me the screenshot of that. He was like, oh, this is what I just had to do. Like, I had to take a break. He's like, this is vacation, but I'm, I still got to have some, how did he say it? Like, it was work and play, because of the job he does. He was like, I still got to like meet with some investors and just like have lunch with these people that just like he was there for work and play. I was like, okay, I ain't mad at you. Get your money how you can, networking. So that came up. I was like, oh, that's good. Because like you're showing me the screenshot. I see the candlesticks going up and down, green and red. But other than that, I don't understand this crypto screen that you're showing me. I don't, like I know what investing is like, but crypto is new to me. I don't, So we're talking about that now. Or he's talking about that. So he was like, do you want me to teach you? I was like, yeah, when I'm ready to invest in crypto, you'll be right there. He's like, okay, let me know when you're ready. I'm patient. Remember that? I'm patient. So now I don't even remember what we're talking about. I think we're still talking about like traveling, like places we have on our bucket list, places like we want to visit, or just like in the States where we want to go. Like sometimes it doesn't always have to be out of the country. You could just still find other states like, cool, whatever. This man now tells me, let me know when you're ready. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, did he send this message late? I was like, ready for what? He was like, I'm actually about to do a trade now. Do you want me to teach you? I was like, oh, I'm not ready for that. I was like, but when I'm ready, because I just answered this. I was like, when I'm ready, I'll let you know. So he's explaining it to me. So now I'm like, oh yeah, no. He's like, I could just teach you briefly. I was like, and then at this day, I'm at work, but my work is super chill. Like I really enjoy I be telling people, jobs that I pick, I really, really like them. I just wish it was paying me $1 million. But anyway, I'm doing my work, but it's chill because I can still chat with him. So now it came to my understanding that he wants me to, in that moment, download Coinbase and start like investing in crypto in that moment. So I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for this. So now we're typing in paragraphs because you're not understanding. I've told you no twice and you're trying to, are you trying to scam me? What's going on? At that time, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even think that because it wasn't weird. It wasn't weird up until he kept pushing the issue. And I'm just like, no, I'm not ready for that. I was like, but when I am, because he told me, he was like, how much principal would you want to put down if you want to learn? He was like, because my teacher, he's like, when you do it, you have to do it the way I show you. He's like, because that's the way my teacher told me, and it's been working out well for me. And then another thing I think that didn't make me immediately think it was like a red flag or anything like that. He was like, and when you're investing, you want to make sure you're not being greedy. You don't want to like oversell, overtrade, or buy something that you're not really sure that you believe in. So it just was sounding like good advice. It didn't sound like he was trying to do anything. I was like, oh my God, thank you for letting me know that when I'm ready, I'm going to apply that advice into what I'm doing. Because, when you're investing, you obviously want to make money. So you would think we would continue with the whatever other conversation we're having. So now he's gung-ho about it. I'm like, I feel like we're at a standstill because you're not understanding me telling you I'm not ready to invest in crypto, and you're talking about this like I'm doing it right now. I'm like, one, I'm not even on the computer. Two, I cannot just be on my phone trying to do this. He was like, oh, I was just like interested in helping you start and make money. I was like, oh, I'm good. But I promise you, because you already told me that you're going to be patient about this, I promise you when I'm ready. So now I'm starting to get irritated. I was like, when I'm ready, I promise I will let you know. Because now I've said this 4 times. In different ways, I've said no. So you don't understand no. Y'all. What did he say? Because there was something he said that I just had to I was walking, I had to pause. Like, oh, you're shitting me. Oh no, before that, he was like, let me set my face. He was like, so what's the principle that you want to put down? I was like, it doesn't matter because I'm not ready. What are you not understanding? He was like, when I put my principle, so it's like now what I'm saying, it's not clicking. Am I typing too slow? Are you reading too slow? What's happening here? So he was like, the principle that I put down for starting to invest in crypto. I think he said $50,000 or $15,000. And I just stood there. I was like, okay. It's not going to make me no difference because I just told you. I'm not interested in doing that right now. Like, why are you bringing this up again? Now I'm ready to move on from this conversation. And you're not listening to me. And I'm annoyed. And I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to talk about this. So he's typing all these paragraphs. He was like, what don't you understand? I'm trying to make you money. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. When I tell y'all, I get the ick real fast from men. I call them the endangered species. Let me set my face. I call them the endangered species. I call them the endangered species. That's what I call men because they're so exhausting. Hold on. Okay. So now that I'm starting to feel like I'm wasting my time, it's like, even in what he was saying, it still didn't feel like a scam, but it didn't. And once my intuition is like, girl, don't even waste your time. Because if he cannot understand no, like so this is what I was thinking. I was like, even if this is not a scam, like you're just like literally trying to help me get into crypto, I've already told you no so many times, so you don't understand people's boundaries and you don't understand the word no. So I stopped responding. And then he wrote this like 3 text paragraph, and I'm just like, you're not getting it. And then he goes off on me and he curses at me. So at this point, cooch dry. I'm already over it. I am not interested in what you have to say anymore. So now I'm feeling like, are you trying to scam me? I am not a 419, but now that you have wasted my time because I got happy over you for nothing, I was like, oh, we can play this game. So then I didn't respond back to him after I read that. And I made sure that he saw that I read it. Do I like this color on my lips? I don't know, but that's what we're going to go with. I don't know. I feel like it's too pink. Let's do something warmer. But, y'all, he's just going off. When I tell you he's going off, okay? So like I said, I didn't respond back until the next day. So now I'm on my computer. I'm petty, okay? Now I'm on my computer and I was like, good morning. I downloaded Coinbase. Now teach me what you want to teach me. He was like, I'm sorry about yesterday. I was just trying to get you to understand, like this is actually really a good thing. It can earn you a lot of extra money. You don't need to do anything crazy. I'm just going to show you step by step on how to start. So he's doing all these things. So every step that he's telling me to do, I'm taking a screenshot from google.com. I'm taking screenshots from videos that's teaching about Coinbase. So it's like real scenarios, but I'm sending him screenshots of that. What I like in this whole thing, this is what I'm like, was he really serious? This is how he really act? Or was this really a scam? Because he didn't ask me for any of my personal information. And every time I did a screenshot, anything that had my personal information, I blurred out. So he was just like teaching me next steps, next step, next steps. But at this point, I'm already checked out. I'm not interested in you anymore because, the way he went, y'all, is the way he went off. It's the way he went off. If he didn't do all of that, I don't think I would have, I think we'll still be talking. But he went off in sentences. And then he cursed at me. Did I tell y'all that? He cursed. He's like, what the fuck? Because before this, I've already told you, if you want to actually teach me this, because, yeah, I'm sure I'm grateful. We done with the makeup, y'all. I'm sure I'm grateful, or I'll be grateful to learn about this, because it would be great to learn from someone that's been doing this for a while and you're making income. But I've already told you I'm not interested and you kept bringing it up. And then you cursed at me. So, yeah, y'all, because he didn't ask me any of my personal information, I was like, okay, but I'm still gonna play you because now you've insulted me. Oh, what I was gonna say is, I told him, I was like, we could do this in person. You can teach me. I can see how you do it. I can see how, like, this can be valuable, and I'll apply it to myself, and I'll learn. I'll actually see how you're doing it instead of talking about this over the phone and then having to screenshot it to you and then walking me through it that way. I was like, just when we meet. And he was like, well, on our first date, I don't really want to talk about crypto. I want to get to know you. Yes, me too. So why are we talking about it now? I told you I'm not interested. Let it go. And he was like, y'all, after I said that, he was like, if you don't make any money from this, the way I teach you, after we do it. No, he was like, if you don't make any money from this after I teach you, I would never bring it up again. I was like, great. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So stop bringing it up. And then he just reverts back to talking about, I was like, oh, this is not getting through to you. So then that's when I was like, you want to play? You want to be disrespectful? Because at this point, I knew I was going to block him. So I'm sending him fake stuff, fake screenshots. He's telling me the next step, fake screenshot. He's telling me the next step. And then, like, there are two options, like, when you're on Coinbase, because now I'm interested in it for myself. There's an option where you wire, and people are always saying, like in the videos I watched, they're telling you it's better to wire it opposed to using your bank, whatever. I wasn't wiring it. So all the things I was doing, like every step was just like screenshots that I found, but it was like an order. And the video I was watching, shout out to that video, because of that video, I was able to just screenshot, and anything that had the person's name, I blurred out. And I added a principle that was not even realistic. So he was just going with the flow. He was teaching me next step, next step, next step. And the one thing that got me, he was like, okay, when you wire it to yourself, screenshot it to me. And in the video I was watching, there was no step like that. Like, he moved on. Like, I understood what he was saying, but he moved on. I was like, damn. So I'm like, okay. Because at this point, y'all, I have wasted this man's time in teaching me the next steps. But I think the point where he wanted me to screenshot me wiring it to myself, it was going to have a lot of information, like my information. And I don't know if that's how people scam people, but I was like, okay, I'm tired. You're wasting my time now. Like, I said this to myself. So I didn't write him back. Because now he's apologized. He wished me a happy new year. He's like, I'm really, really sorry that I did that. I was just like, I was really eager to like teach you, blah, blah, blah. But like, you haven't met me. Let me actually even like you in person first, and you actually like me in person. Because yeah, all this cute stuff we've been doing for the past week and a half, it's cute and all, but you were excited about this day, and I was excited to get to know you, and now you're playing games. The way, if there's like 5 lanes on the highway and you're about to make an exit curvature and like just go free on the highway when you make your exit on the right, the way everything went from the right to the fast lane on the left, that's how wrong, that's how left it went. And I was like, yeah, and you were being an asshole, and I did not appreciate that. So there's that. He was like, I was good to you. Okay, you're delusional. What are you talking about now? He tried to say, like, if I wanted him for his money. Y'all, he went off. All of these things now that I'm remembering. And I, like, when I blocked it, I deleted the messages. So I wish I had saved this if I knew I was going to make this into a story time so y'all could see. Just so y'all could see. And I'm almost tempted, I don't know, when I'm editing this, I'll figure it out. I'm almost tempted to put his pictures up here so y'all can be like wary. But I still don't know if this was a scam, because he never asked me anything for my personal information going through the Coinbase thing, like nothing personal. He was just always showing me the next steps of how to invest. But it wasn't even that part. It was the way he went off. You have not met, like, you cursed at me. And he just went off, and the shit he was writing, it started to not make sense. Like, why are you so worried about? He was like, in a relationship, in a partnership, I want my woman to be able to like make, y'all, I was like, I didn't even ask you for anything. I haven't even met you in person yet. What the fuck are you talking about? So, all in all, he's doing all this talking. So I'm replying like every 5 hours, but so much hours we got in a day. So he got to the point where he's like, hello, send me the wire screenshot so I could tell you what to do next. I didn't answer. I saw it and I went back to sleep. And then, so he wrote me 6 messages, and in one of the messages, he was like, what the fuck? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm sorry, what? What the who? So at this point, I'm tired of going back and forth. I've wasted my time because I'm trying to play you enough. So I responded to that what the fuck message, and I was like, you know what? Goodbye. So I blocked him. And that's how that ended. So yeah. I was like, I'm sure it gotta have been a scam, because there's no way for a man to be that mad about someone you don't even know. You don't even know if you'll like me enough to be your girlfriend, to want to teach me crypto right now. Because, it was like when he was talking about teaching, he was like, because I remember, y'all, he said he was patient. He was like, I'll teach you that. And if you actually really like me, I'll teach you Mandarin. I'm like, okay, look at me trying to learn Korean and Mandarin because, he wants to be my bae and potential bae. He's Chinese. It's like, now I got to learn Mandarin. I was just like, no. Oh, y'all. What a roller coaster. The way everything was going smooth and it made a sharp left, I couldn't believe it. I literally could not believe it. Anyway, the endangered species will continue to be trash until I show y'all a man that's not trash, and I'll probably be like, oh, that's my man or whatever. If I have any more tales, I will tell it in my next video. The next video I do want to make, though, I want to talk about sexual compatibility in relationships and why I think a lot of people, we are all like really amazing people. We're single, and people are like, what's wrong with us? A lot of things are not wrong with us, and we can mutually like people, but we're not compatible in that way. And some people stay with their partner and not being happy sexually, and that's why I'm single. Couldn't be me. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I know this video is long. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.